Shalom. This is an emergency broadcast alert giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Rakakadash, and whom we are in great debt. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, continue to do so, standing firm in the eyes of terror, who I learned this truth from. To the elders, the bishops, Akim and Aquab, salutations and blessings. To the house of David, we are the hopeful elect. This is your brother Quasiyahu, another quick one. And Tucker Carlson has been intrigued with the apostles of Great Millstone for a very long time. Salakia, I am sure that before he had, because he made believe, they all play it off like, oh, they didn't know that the apostles were standing there preaching the word of the Most High, but I'm pretty sure that he built up character, that it won't lead to no one that they can see that he was actually trying to conduct some sort of field investigation for his research that he was doing at the time. But it has led to something bigger because, like I said before, I'm sure he was very intrigued for a very long time before he stepped up and did this.
It's bad for you.
Why?
Because you're going into slavery.
You're an Edomite.
I'm cutting to the chase.
Why am I going?
Because you're an Edomite.
You're an Edomite.
What's your nationality?
American.
That's not a nationality. What's your national origin?
No idea. I was born in California.
Okay, what was your father? Was he Irish? Okay, so I guess he may be Irish, right?
He's not Irish. He's not Irish.
Is he Jewish?
Swedish.
Well, you better hope that you're an Israelite. But anyway, give me Isaiah 14:1.
Wait, but why am I going into slavery?
If you're a so-called white man, if your line goes back to the Edomites, do you know anything about Edom or Esau?
Yeah.
So what do you know about Edom or Esau?
Well, Esau.
He knows about Edom. I'm surprised he knows about that.
Brother Esau? Jacob's brother?
Jacob's brother.
Yeah.
Okay, who are the
God bless
descendants?
you.
Who are the descendants of Jacob?
I think the Jews and then the Arabs are the descendants of Esau.
Are you talking about the white Jews?
There you go.
And you see how he playing stupid?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, we're the descendants of Jacob.
Okay.
Jacob was a black man. Abraham was black. All right? Isaac, his son, was black.
Right.
Rebecca was black. So if they were all black, what color did Jacob would come out? He would come out as a black man.
Right.
Now, his brother Esau didn't come out as a black man. He came out as, I'll use this term, an albino. You see a black person that looks like a white person,
Right.
they call him an albino. But guess what? White people are albinos too. You're an albino, okay?
You're depressing me.
Well, that's
Well, you gotta get ready, man. If you're an Edomite,
When is
if
this
you're
going to
an
happen?
Edomite, very soon. It's happening now as we talk. Go ahead.
Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
Because the first thing that you mentioned when I asked you your nationality, your religion, you said Christian.
Right.
And I said, what does the word Christian mean? You said follower of Christ. Well, bring me here to the book of Acts 11:26.
Wait, can I say
I'm going to show you a true Christian.
Acts chapter 11 verse 26. And when he had found them, he brought them into Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people.
These are the apostles.
you're depressing me?
That's well posted. That's well posted.
You're depressing me. You're depressing me. You're depressing me.
I'll find it, okay?
You're depressing me. You're depressing me. You're depressing me.
I feel like they both have really been great for this country, net, as they say. But no, they joke about it in the same way that a lot of people joke about it. They're like, no, there are no flying saucers from Mars.
Right.
Well, of course, they're not from Mars. They're
right.
not from another planet. They're from here. They've always been here. These are spiritual entities. This is my view, and I sincerely believe it. Can't prove it. But since you asked, so he is, I've never heard Elon say that's not true.
Be dismissive.
That there's nothing there. He just said, look, we monitor space. That's what they do, right?
I mean, just go back and listen to what he says here. Listen to what he says here. He says they're not from Mars. They're not aliens. He said they've always been here. He says they are spirits. They are spiritual, meaning they are spirits. Angels are spirits. So Tucker Carlson here is alluding that he believes, which we know, that these chariots, what they call UFOs and UAPs, are angels, because he said they are spirits. Listen carefully what he says again. Just play it back.
People joke about it. They're like, no, there are no flying saucers from Mars.
Right.
Well, of course, they're not from Mars. They're not from another planet. They're from here. They've always been here. These are spiritual entities. This is my...
See, these are spiritual. They have always been here. They're not from Mars. They're not from... These are spiritual. They have always been here. So he's alluding to, he believes, which we know, that these are angels, as we always speak about what these UFOs and UAPs are, you know, the ones that we can definitely attest to being chariots. All right? Play it again.
Like, no, there are no flying saucers from Mars.
Right.
Well, of course, they're not from Mars. They're not from another planet. They're from here. They've always been here. These are spiritual entities. This is my view, and I sincerely believe it. Can't prove it. But since you asked, so he is... No, I've never heard Elon say that's not true.
Be dismissive.
That there's nothing there. He just said, look, we monitor space. That's what they do, right? And this is self-evident. If there have been so many sightings in this country and around the world that if they were from another galaxy far, far away, there would be some satellite evidence of that.
This might be a good place to refuel.
The sun burns hydrogen, the perfect fuel for a starship.
Could spaceships be refueling by getting as close as possible to stars and sapping up that energy, and that's what's fueling them through space? That image certainly raises that possibility.
The sun puts out more power in a second than humanity has used in all of history.
But the 3 million degree temperatures in the sun's atmosphere would destroy any human technology.
We can't use the sun for a spacecraft, but that doesn't mean some very advanced alien race can't.
It would require some massive engineering advances. You don't want this spacecraft to vaporize.
It's not insane to think there is an unobtainium that is what you need to be able to build a Death Star that can roll right into a star to refuel. All it is a matter of being able to handle the heat.
And a magnetic bubble. It's the magnetic bubble.
The tendrils are prominences, clouds of hydrogen clinging to the edge of the sun's atmosphere. The Death Star itself is a solar magnetic bubble the size of Jupiter, full of superhot plasma. The only thing holding the ball in place is a magnetic field, which can shift at any moment.
Eventually they erupt and that off into space. So even though we don't see it here on Earth, there are these huge explosions going on in the sun all the time. All the time.
The only thing holding the ball in place is a magnetic field, which can shift at any moment.
Eventually they erupt, and that's what we're seeing at the end. This eruption off into space.
Why? Because you're going into slavery. That's right. You're an Edomite. Now I'm cutting to the chase.
Why am I going?
Because you're an Edomite. You're an Edomite. What's your nationality?
American.
That's not a nationality. What's your national origin?
No idea. I was born in California.
Okay, what was your father? Was he Irish? Okay, so I guess he may be Irish, right?
He's not Irish. He's not Irish.
Is he Jewish?
Swedish.
Well, you better hope that you're Israelite. But anyway, give me Isaiah 14:1.
Wait, but why am I going into slavery?
If you're a so-called white man, if your line goes back to the Edomites, do you know anything about Edom or Esau?
Yeah.
So what do you know about Edom or Esau?
Well, Esau.
He knows about Edom. I'm surprised he knows about that.
Brother Esau? Jacob's brother?
Jacob's brother.
Yeah.
Okay, who are the descendants? Who are the descendants descendants of Jacob?
I think the Jews and then the Arabs was descendants of Esau.
Are you talking about the white Jews?
There you go.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, we're the descendants of Jacob.
Okay.
Jacob was a black man. Abraham was black. All right. Isaac, his son, was black.
Right.
Rebecca was black. So if they were all black, what color did Jacob would come out? He would come out as a black man.
Right.
Now his brother Esau didn't come out as a black man. He came out as, I'll use this term, an albino. You see a black person that looks like a white person, they call him an albino. But guess what? White people are albinos too. You're an albino, okay?
You're depressing me.
Well, that's well, supposed to.
Well, you gotta get ready, man. If you're an Edomite,
When is this going to happen?
very soon. It's happening now as we talk. Go ahead.
Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
Because the first thing that you mentioned when I asked you your religion, you said Christian.
Right.
And I said, what does the word Christian mean? You said follow Christ. Well, go here to the book of Acts 11:26.
Wait, can I say
I'm going to show you a true Christian.
Acts chapter 11 verse 26. And when he had found him, he brought him into Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people.
These are the apostles.
Right.
Go ahead.
And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
So the only Christians were the true followers of Christ. Go from there to St. John 4:19.
John chapter 4 verse 19. The woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain.
This is a woman of Samaria. Go ahead.
Our fathers,
which thought she was a Jew, but the Lord, a transplanted Jew. Go ahead.
Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Jesus said unto her, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
So, in him making that statement, for salvation is of the Jews, he excluded her. Why? Because she was not a real Jew. Go ahead.
But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
Go ahead.
For the Father seeketh such to worship him.
True worship.
God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Go ahead.
The woman saith unto him, I know that Messiah cometh, which is called Christ. When he is come, he will tell us all things. Jesus said unto her, I that speak unto thee am he.
And he said he admitted that he was the Messiah. Go ahead.
And upon this came his disciples, and marveled that he talked with the woman. Yet no man said, What seekest thou? Or why talkest thou with her? The woman then left her water pot and went away into the city and said to the men, Come, see a man which told me all things that ever I did. Is not this the Christ? Then they went out of the city and came unto him. In the meanwhile his disciples prayed him, saying, Master, eat. But he said to them, I have meat to eat that ye know not of.
Let's go back to the 19th verse. Go back to the point, because salvation is of the Jews.
Right. John chapter 4 verse 22. Ye worship ye know not what.
Ye worship ye know not what. This is what the Christ said, the black Christ said to this, she would probably be an Ethiopian woman, okay? Because you have a group of Colossian Jews over there. Do you know what the word Colossian means?
No.
It means false. I believe it's Latin, okay? Now what happened was, going back maybe 20 years ago, the real Jews started waking up. So I believe...
I don't know if you noticed, but what Carton is doing is to see how well educated Apostle Tahal is. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but that's what he's doing.
To counteract that, the so-called Jews in Israel said, let's allow these Ethiopians to come to Israel and say, here are the black Jews. But they're not the black Jews.
Let me ask you two questions.
Go ahead.
One, what's the name of your group?
We're Israelites. Israelites. Yep.
Second, what denomination did you grow up in?
Not just one denomination.
That's right.
Because my parents went from one church to this to that. So they jumped all over the place.
Like Protestant denominations? Christian denominations?
Protestant, Baptist, Methodist, Jehovah Witness. You was raised as a Jehovah Witness.
Jehovah Witness, yeah.
Jehovah Witness, that's what we call it. But we found out through studying the scriptures that we are the Israelites. We are the lost. Give me Matthew's 10, 5, and 6.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans, enter ye not, but go rather to...
Hold on, read it again. Read it slow.
These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the
That's
Gentiles.
called the Great Commission, right?
Yes.
He sent out the 12. And this is what he told the 12 to do. Go ahead.
Go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Hold up, wait a minute. I thought we were supposed to save Gentiles. This is what the Lord said. This is what the Christ said. Go ahead.
And enter any city of the Samaritans, enter ye not.
Now he just encountered, we read about in St. John, the 4th chapter, he had that conversation with that Ethiopian woman, which was a Samaritan. That's why he said, don't go among the Samaritans, because they were Gentiles claiming to be Jews. So don't go to them either. Go ahead.
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Go ahead.
And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
So all the other nations are excluded.
That's right.
Including yourself if you're an Edomite. Jump down to the 18th verse.
Verse 18. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles.
For testimony against them and the Gentiles.
So if you're an Edomite, there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can go to slavery. That's the only thing you can do.
That's only right, man.
We were enslaved under you.
We didn't have a choice.
Well, provided that you're an Edomite. If you're an Edomite, then you're going into slavery.
That's it.
If for some reason...
So it's not even worth worrying about. You're going.
If you're an Edomite, you're going into slavery. That's it.
That's it.
Period. So the only thing you can do is hope that you're an Israelite.
Here's hoping. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate
All right,
it.
nice meeting you, bro. All right,
Thanks, guys.
take care. What's an Edomite? He's a so-called white man. But that doesn't mean that this guy right here, I forget his name, but this guy, he'll be talking about us.
It really felt like we were just speaking so far past each other that we would never come to. It's like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. And and especially when I decided or concluded that he really meant it, I was like, that's just too freaking weird to me. I was interviewing a guy one time and he started talking about the black Israelites and we're the real Jews. And I was like, and it wasn't on camera, but I was like, it was so far out to me that I was like, we'll never kind of understand common terms on that.
Okay, there.
Oh.
Few precepts. This is what the scripture says here in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, which are the elect of the children of Israel, so far beyond all that they looked for. Everything that they could imagine what salvation was about, anything that they can imagine what these chariots really look like, they're really going to see it on the day of judgment, on the day of deliverance. And they repenting and groaning of anguish repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb and a reproach, talking about you, descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, talking about you, descendants of the Native American Indian tribes, right? Because as we go on, it says here, we fools account his life as madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered amongst the children of the Most High, Yahweh, and his lot is amongst the saints? All right? How is he numbered? So when we go to Second Thessalonians, this is how it's going to be numbered. I think it's First Thessalonians. I'm saying second, but I believe it is First Thessalonians. Let me just share this tab. First Thessalonians chapter 4. There we go here. First Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 16. For the Lord, Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, himself shall descend from heaven with a shout. So how is he coming? He's coming in a chariot. All right? With the voice of the archangel. Michael is going to be the chief archangel, remember, leading Yahushua's army. And with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. So we know Michael is the chief archangel, right? And we know Michael is going to be traveling alongside the Lord. So if we go to the book of Daniel, we're just going to grab a precept. Book of Daniel, chapter 12. Let's just bring it up on the screen. We're going to come back to 1 Thessalonians, chapter 4. And we're going to go back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. This is Michael, the chief. This is the archangel. Michael is the chief archangel out of the 7 archangels. Daniel's 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael, all right, stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of...
Sorry for the interruption.
Daniel's people are the children of Israel. And there shall be a time of trouble. That time of trouble is going to stand up. This is the archangel, Shai, chapter 4. And we're going to go back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. This is Michael, the chief. This is the archangel. Michael is the chief archangel out of the 7 archangels. Daniel's 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael, all right, stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. Daniel's people are the children of Israel. And there shall be a time of trouble. That time of trouble is going to be Jacob's trouble. That's going to lead us up into World War III, the War of Armageddon, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people, Daniel's people, Daniel's from the tribe of Judah. Daniel is a Hebrew Israelite. He's talking about the Hebrew Israelites, and in these last days the elect. Daniel's people shall be delivered. That's who's going to be delivered. Everyone that shall be found written in the book, that's who's going to be delivered. That's why when you go back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 5, it says, how is he numbered amongst the children of the Most High? And his lot is amongst the saints. Daniel's people are the saints. How is he numbered? Because his name was found written in the book, right? It's a spiritual book. It's not a physical book. Going back to Ephesians chapter 4, when it talks about the predestination, right? It says, therefore have we erred from the way of truth, as what Esau continues to do, the world, and the light of righteousness has not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness, Esau, and destruction. Because what's going to come in the end times? Destruction is going to come by the way of World War III, the War of Armageddon. But these Edomites are continuously committing their wickedness and their destruction, the wickedness that they're committing first and foremost against the children of Israel, and the destruction to the earth, because they wearied themselves. They got rich. They spent day and night meditating how to get rich through their wickedness and their destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way, right? But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. They have not known the way of the Lord. Never will know the way of the Lord, but they're going to know it on the day of judgment. And then if you think about, we're going to go back to 1 Thessalonians. When you think about, I think is it Psalms? Hold on, let's see if I can quickly find it. It says Psalms 50, I'm thinking. We're going to go back to the video, right? So just hold tight, family. I think is it Psalms 50 I want?
Anyways, I have enough information. I hope this video was edifying. Shalom.